Hi guys, look at all this goodness. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Okay, so I've just been plugging right along working on all of my birthday celebration loaded pockets with the gatefold design, of course. So today we're going to work on a couple things. If I have any links, you know, they'll be in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. What I'm showing you here is that I'm pretty much done. Honestly, the fastest part was putting together the pocket, which is kind of interesting. Everything else, you know, all your little work that goes in it, I think is going to take more time. I literally cranked these out in probably an hour, maybe less, because I was watching TV and I just realized like it hasn't been that long. And so I already put my little gift. Remember, I had the stickers. We had make our shaker mix. I just need to finish off adding these layers in the front. I had cut them, but I just haven't put them there with my ribbon closure, and then of course the little edging that I did on that first one. So I just have these guys here looking really cute, ready to go. And then we have the one I've been working on, kind of showing you guys as I'm going through. You know, I had mentioned I did add another little gift, which was like those cute candy cases and like the macaron case with some extra fun things in there. And it might be that this isn't going to fit for me. I mean, it just depends. And this is what I said, whatever fits in your pocket, right? You know, maybe your tag is super thick, or maybe your card is a little bit thicker, so you have to do something different. These are all ideas. Doesn't mean I'm going to use all the ideas at the end. I mean, I could put these on a little pick and just pop them in here and there, right? Because there's going to be some dead space. Or, I mean, honestly, you can even stick things on the side if when you close it up, it doesn't bother anything, you know, because it might be empty up here, right? It's just most of the stuff is going to be down in the pocket. So maybe you stick them on there, so when you open it up, these guys are here, obviously within the pocket, or however it works for you, right? I said I'd probably put my tassels on here. I don't know. It's just different ideas. I mean, you know, some of these things maybe, like I said, on a little pick or whatever, you know, not out here because obviously that makes it tighter. But I'm gonna make it work, and if it doesn't work, I don't need to include so many gifts, okay? I did want to address that because I feel like last time I did show quite a few things, and honestly, a gift or a treat could be this. I had mentioned, oh, maybe I'll make like a little packet with like a Ghirardelli chocolate and maybe some tea or something, right? That's prepackaged, obviously, and then put them in something cute that we create. Maybe it doesn't fit, so that's not a good idea for me. Or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, little lollipops, some chocolate, some crafty thing, whatever it is, the gift to me is this, the thing that can take up space after you've done your other things. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just showed it in that last video because I had my stickers and I'm ready to go. Relatively flat. Those other things are more dimensional. We'll work it out. You know, I might include only one of those things. It just depends, you know, how it all comes together. So why I'm saying this is because I know sometimes people will be like, oh, I made all these things and they didn't quite fit, but I really want to get them in there, and then the other stuff gets damaged or might get squished. So just, you know, really curate what you're putting in. Be generous. Obviously go all out. Use your best materials. And just make a nice swap, right? Ooh, I also want some die cuts on the front, so much more to do. But in today's video, I think I'm going to make my card and the die cuts, possibly the tag. I have to see how long this video is going, because basically I'm using my Cricut, so I mean, I can only talk about that so much, and then I cut things, so you know, it doesn't take a lot of video time. But we'll see. So I've already pre-done these screenshots that I do with my Cricut, or with my computer to my Cricut, so I will cut to those scenes next. And yeah, I hope you guys are having fun. I know it just started up, so I'm sure, you know, there's things you've ordered and stuff like that you're waiting for it to come in, but they just look so cute, you guys. I am so in love. All right, well, let's get to cutting, I think, my card, I guess. There is some manipulation I did for that, so I want to talk about that in the next scene here. I'll be right back.
Okay, guys, so to make my card, I just wanted some panels so I can do a gatefold and a little cake. I thought that'd be cute. So this is what I came up with, but I'll show you how I did that. Let's go back to, let's just say new. Okay, so I'm going to do something new. And I let you guys know, I always keep my machine set at like a larger machine, because if I pick Cricut Joy, sometimes it won't show me certain things because they're like, oh, you don't, that won't fit on your Joy, even though you can resize things, so it's kind of silly. But anyway, for a gatefold card, the panels on the front are basically 4 1/4 by 5, but cut in half, right, on the 4 1/4. So just to make a background panel, I'm not going to do the whole card on here, which we can definitely design here and put, you know, score lines. I'll just do that by hand. But I'll take a square with the sharp edges, because that's what I want. If you want rounded edges, you can definitely do that. But this is a matte layer for my panels, and I want it to cover the whole thing. So I have my square. And over here in size, I'm going to unlock it because otherwise that means it's going to be the same like proportions, but I want to make my own proportions, which actually in the width are going to be 2.125 because that is an eighth. An eighth here is 0.125. So I'll press return. And then the height, I still want it 5. So it's going to be the whole height. And I can cut these pieces myself, but you know, if this machine can do it and they're more accurate, that would be great. And we're going to want 2 of these. So I have that for the background and I'm going to duplicate it. And you don't have to duplicate it because when you go to cut, you can just say twice or whatever. But I'm just going to duplicate it now. And then I wanted something in here like a die cut panel, and I couldn't really find one under like panel. If I came over here and said panel, it was really literally nothing. And then, you know, I always like to use the ones that I've bought. So I click on purchased. And there was nothing. So I was like, okay, how about a rectangle? Maybe doily would be another good one to look up because sometimes some doilies are rectangular shape. So I just look for a rectangle. Ooh, that one's pretty, but it's like a tag shape. So I just go through and I thought that one I chose was cute. It's like a little scallop. I mean, this was pretty too, very pretty. But I'm thinking of the size of this, and if it's only 2 inches wide, it's going to be kind of hard for the Cricut to cut those little loops. So I just looked for a shape that was fun, that'll still be something different, you know. So as I keep looking, I came across, oh, the postage one would be fun. Or even this one. Lots of shapes. Should I choose the same one I did earlier? I guess I don't have to. Let's say we went with this one. And this one already has a center cut out, so we're going to work around that in a minute. So let's just say I used that one. So I'll just add to canvas. I did add a few things at a time, but so we have this piece. And I'm going to rotate it just so it's easy to work with in the direction I want, so 90 degrees. And again, we're going to size it. So unlock. Well, actually, what's funny about this one is if we unlock it, it might look kind of wonky, but that's okay. So I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to say my width should be 2.0 because I just want it that eighth of an inch smaller, and then the height should be 4.875, and that's again an eighth of an inch smaller. And let's see what that looks like. Looking good. So that's gonna be my little layer. Now it has a centerpiece cut out, right? We talked about that. It's kind of weird. We can probably get rid of that somehow, but what I did is instead I'm going to duplicate one of my background pieces. I just need something for this to lay on. I'm going to slice it. Let me bring this to front, right click, bring to the front. I'm going to layer these together. I'm going to go like this. So I highlight them both. Now that they're highlighted, I'll press slice. Hopefully they're still highlighted. I took a pause real quick. And when I slice, when I move this away and move this away, we can just delete that extra one. We have this piece. Now this one's kind of a pain because it has all these little dots, and earlier the one I used just had the scallop and it was easy. But what I can do is now I highlight this guy, right? We're on that guy. I'm going to click contour, and I'm going to get rid of the very outside. We're going to get rid of the scallop part, and then every single one of these dots. And I'm sure there's another way to do that that's faster. You can say hide all of them. Actually, that is faster. If you click hide all and then just, let's say hide all, okay? But then come back, it's going to want to do that one. Come back to this one. This is the one I want, that little centerpiece. So I'm going to click that because I want that back and I want this one gone. So I clicked it. Usually when you say hide all, it'll still keep the main contour. And so now essentially we should just have this middle piece that we're going to have, and then that will mat in here really nicely. So we're going to duplicate this. Just to have 2 of them, right? 2 of them. I know these colors aren't very pretty, but I don't care. I just choose the paper when I get there. I'm going to change the color of this one just so that we have something different, and I'm also going to duplicate that. So now we have these layers that are going to be like my little gatefold layers. And then I just looked for a cake or balloon. I had done a balloon earlier, so I was like, well, I'll just look for a little cake. So I chose all these things all at once, but let's say cake. And there are so many cute cakes. I mean, I love this, but I'm thinking about how delicate that is. All those candles I have to set, and they're kind of off on their own. So, you know, I mean, oh my gosh, my Hello Kitty ones are so cute. So, I mean, even this one is really adorable. I had a hard time choosing a cake because there's so many cute things. I chose this one that has words, which I'm sure I'm going to come to regret. So if the words don't work out, I will just not use them. But I chose this one. He's so cute. So let's just add that. Add to canvas. And the only way I sized this was just looking at these things and thinking, how big can I make this that still looks super cute? So probably about that size, right? Maybe a little bit bigger. And then I wanted an offset on this just so I have something to build onto, even though it builds on itself, but you know. So that contour is kind of big, so I just drag it down till it's as close as I would like, something like that. Let's say apply. And now I have my cake and a little contour. And that will be my gatefold. So of course we'll choose fun colors and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to send these things to cut. And when you send to cut, let's just say make it. I just want to show you. We're going to say for any material, confirm. And then, you know, I want 4 of them, right? So apply. And so again, I can probably maximize this if I was using my own cutting it myself, but it's nice to have the machine do it. There's the background for the cake. There's the topper bits. Hopefully that cuts well. That's the little inside layers on those topper pieces. And then the background layer of the cake and the little candle bits and the words and the little stripes on the candle. So, you know, I mean, look at these tiny things. Yeah, just things that go to the candle. And then the little layering pieces on the cake. So not too much and very cute. I was thinking about doing a belly band, but if I was to do that, I would just repeat patterns. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. If I want to do a belly band, let's see if I have something on here. Okay, or I can even put the cake on the belly band, which would be really cute, just like a strip and then put a little cake on there. But I want it to be part of the card. I'm just going to leave the card that way. But let's say, I mean, this would be very delicate. Let's find another one. Let's say you like this. And I would start off with something that already has pieces like that because it makes it that much easier. And then I would get rid of all these other little bits. So like, let's say you just want this piece. And I would get rid of, well, you probably want the candles, wouldn't you? Okay, maybe you want your candles. Maybe this is a bad example, but what I would do is take this piece and then duplicate it a few times. And why is that duplicate way over there? Who knows? And I would put them right close to each other. Well, obviously I would get rid of all those little bits over there. Actually, let's just use these guys. Let's pretend I'm just duplicate. And I'm going to get rid of this just to get it out of the way. I would take these guys and kind of line them up close to each other and see how they're touching now. And you can highlight all of them. You can even align them better if you want, like align, no, not bottom. How do I want to align these? Let me be quick. It's a little harder than I thought. Okay, let's think again about aligning. Maybe we do a say align bottom. Okay, that's fine, because at least now you know they're on the same plane. And what I would do is click that guy and then just use my arrow keys to kind of move them over a little closer. And then maybe this one too, move it closer a little bit. And look like I can bar them down. And then now that they're all touching, you can just highlight them and say combine. And I know they changed that now. And say weld. And those little bits, now it's one piece. And then you would do it as long as you would want. Of course, on the Cricut, it might be a little more difficult, but just keep going. Then you can use it as a belly band. This might not be the shape you want to do that with, but like I said, you can find banners or borders or just one shape and repeat it a ton of times and weld them. So anyway, and what I mean by belly band is it goes in front and around the card, right? Okay. Oh yeah, because then you can also make an offset on this. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways to play with it. I was gonna say if you want it to be a little sturdier, you do an offset and maybe a little tighter, right, when you're done doing all your layers. And then you have something that helps you out behind it that keeps it a little more sturdy. And you have those double layers. Anyway, I'm going to cut these guys and I'll see you at my works.
You know, one other thing I wanted to address while that's cutting, I had a comment, somebody asked, does it have to be like cakes, streamers, you know, gifts, things like that? Or can it be like flowers, hearts, stuff, you know, other kind of things? And I'm like, I wanted to scream birthday, you guys. And honestly, if it's flowers, to me that's more Mother's Day. You know, obviously there's other subjects people like, obviously, for their birthdays, but I think this, because birthday celebration. So yeah, I mean, it just has to be very celebration, in my opinion. So, you know, hip hip hooray, yippee kind of stuff, right? I don't know. That's hard for me to answer because that's how you interpret it, but really, I'd rather not see something that looks Mother's Day or spring. I need it to be birthday celebration, you know? All right, I'll be back. I'm sorry, I'm kind of far away, but as different things come out, I'm just going to start loading them up. So, like, this is the next layer of my cake. It's a very base layer, and this is kind of an old school thing Cricut used to do, where they put the little marks there so you know where to place your next die cuts. So the next thing it's going to cut is actually like the little candle part, so, you know, the little flame. So I'm just gonna cut that and pop them in, and I just keep building up my layers, and it's just layering up, you know. So I'll be back. I just want to show you for this background layer, I just did an offcut, you know, piece from earlier that I couldn't use for anything else, and it made my little layers for the pop-in kind of around my frame. Oh, look at right inside that little frame on each side. How cute! So while that's finishing up cutting, I just realized I didn't do the gatefold base. I'm going to do a gatefold card going along with the gatefold theme. So it's just cutting the very last little bit. It's just cutting the very last bit of like the little stripes on my candle and the happy birthday, if that comes out. If it doesn't, I might just stamp something. We'll see. So I have these pieces here that we're gonna layer up, and remember I had made layers for the very behind, like back of that, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it, so we'll see how it looks. For right now, oh, you know what? I didn't even measure these. Yep, of course. So this paper is not quite the size I want. Let me grab a different white paper. So this is European size, so it's A4 size. I really need it to be the 8.5 by 11 A2 size. So I'll bear back. I only got 2 sheets. Well, yeah, I guess we only need 2 sheets because we are gonna cut it in half. So with the gatefold, it's just like an A2 size card. It's just gonna have a gatefold in the front. So I'm gonna take this guy and cut it at 5.5. Again, this is A2 size paper, I hope. So I'm cutting it 5.5 so that I get 2 cards from each base. And we're going to score. Ooh, suppose that's done. Let's see. I don't know why that bee looks funny. It doesn't look, anyway, I guess that is a bee. But so those are the little pieces. See, it kind of gouged that one, so we'll have to redo that. And then who knows how the lettering came out, but not too bad. Okay. All right, Cricut, you might have redeemed yourself. It's okay. All right, on this one, again, the gatefold, I'm gonna take my card base, and we're gonna score. And okay, so 4 1/4 is usually the width of your A2 size card, so we need to cut that in half. And again, that's 2 1/8. So this board does have 8ths, and hopefully yours does too. Most boards nowadays have 1/8 marks. So this one right here, 2 1/8. And this is some really thick paper, so I'm just gonna score. And turn to the other side, 2 1/8. And what I like to do with my gatefolds, just to make sure everything's good, is I'll bring them over, you know, score them or fold them on the score lines, and I'll really join them in the center. So I'm kind of holding that, and then when you really do your scoring, you're pushing the difference away so that the way this really still meets in the center really nicely. Okay, and that's it. So let me see what this looks like. Again, these are the little cutouts that were in there. I'm hoping these are the same size. You know what? I'm gonna have to redo these. Oh yeah, you guys, I'm so sorry. I think I sized them for 5, not 5.5. Oh, but you know what? No, I gotta redo it, don't I? Even these, I can use this for something else. But let's just see if it worked out as far as this fitting in the center. Okay, it did, and that looks really cute. And if this fills it up, I think I'll probably just leave it like that. So I'm gonna redo these, guys. I'm sorry, but again, oopsie, I'll be right back. So I'm just gonna stretch these guys out, do the exact same thing I showed you on the voiceover, not voiceover, but screenshot, but at a larger size. Okay, I'll be back. So reran those. Very good. Let me get these guys here. Oh my goodness. So all these middle pieces, I don't need them. I mean, I can use for something else. If you're curious to size these, like I said, I did 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it was 2, because these are 2 1/8 by 5.375. Okay, so that's what works for like the Cricut. I'm gonna keep this relatively flat because we're gonna have our little guy on top of there. I hope I have these facing the right way. A lot of times with the Cricut, I don't know which side was the side they cut or not because it's kind of rough on both sides, you know. I feel like the side that's on the top where it cuts in actually sticks up more. I probably should use art glitter for this. Art glitter glue, it sets up so fast. Oh my goodness, okay, let's open that up. Let's open that up and not do this in the air. So I'm just simply going to take my little columns, my cute little macaron, and then just pop them in there, and theoretically that should work, and it did, so that's great. So I'll do that with all the flaps. And if I make all the cards right now, it's just more time I'm doing off camera that I can't get this edited and going, so let's just finish up one of them and I'll do the rest of them. So there's my little gatefold. It looks really sweet already. And then we have this little guy, and I'm going to pop him right down the center, so I'm going to put glue pretty much on one half of it. That looks about right, right? And if we put this down, I'm putting it so that the cake's kind of towards the bottom area here. That looks really good. I'm going to hold that down for a little bit. Of course, we want to make sure we're not gluing it shut. And look at that. I put the glue perfectly where it probably should be. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to get some little rhinestone and some other little cute things, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to add like some rhinestone, something that goes real cute, and probably this darker one. Like on the eye, it has a little eye that's missing. It actually cuts a little dot for the eye, but I didn't want that, so I'll just pop that there. And then I'm going to probably add some little sequins. I know I have some of the cute shapes that I got at the Dollar Tree, but I think I'm just gonna add sequins. So just a little glue, dot, 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 little sequins. And when I come back, I'll have my card completed. Alright guys, 100%, it's gonna be loud. The kids are watching a movie and I'm cutting my die cuts. So this is my card with the sweet little things. Again, 3 embellishments at least. Obviously we have some different layered papers. I have my birthday cake with layers. I have little rhinestones, little sequins, and I think that'll about do it. So what you're gonna do is also include an envelope that fits your card, and I have pre-made envelopes obviously that came along. Well, that didn't come with the card base, so I made my own card base, but they're from Spellbinders. And then I'm gonna place it in a plastic sleeve, and just because that's what I want to do. Of course, if you don't have them and you think it can fit and they're just perfectly fine without it, don't even worry about it. These are 5x7 sleeves. I don't have A2 size sleeves, but I'll link these, and I'll also link the kind of sleeves that I would put the whole swap into after I'm done. But yeah, so that is my card. All right, guys, let's start talking about die cuts. Okay, guys, so as far as my die cuts, I'm generally just using my Cricut, and I didn't do anything special. I just added things here that I wanted to cut. So like here I have this little bag. I think it would be fun to cut out of pattern paper. I hope it will fit. I may have to resize or rethink this one, but basically what I did was I looked at it, and if I folded it in half, you know, like kind of so I can put it in our packaging, it should fit. Like if I'm looking at the 7-inch line here on top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. So that's a little bit too big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. Yeah, so I need to shrink this down. But that's all I look at if I'm going to include something larger. Like if I fold it in half, what's the biggest thing I can include, right? So if I'm looking at it again, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right within 5 inches, so I can bring it a little bit smaller. And that way when I fold it in half, this part matches up over this part, and then I can just fold that glue tab. And then the height, of course, we don't want it taller than 7 inches, and it looks like it's 5.5 inches. So that'd be great. So that one I'll cut from like some cute pattern paper, and I'll have like a gift bag, die cut. And these other ones are just, you know, happy birthday, a layered up one. The colors aren't really representative of what I'm going to be doing, but they're there. You know, we have these guys. I did put this little confetti. I thought it was really cute, but honestly, the Cricut will probably tear that up unless it was like really big confetti, you know, so I'll probably just get rid of that one. So let's just delete that. And then I still have 5 die cuts here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's cute about this one right here, I don't know if you can see, it has little tiny tags too that you layer on here. So cute. So anyway, yeah, so I'll just send these to cut, and I'll have my die cuts. And of course, whatever you have, beautiful dies, you know, that fit, that's all we need to care about. Layered, single layers, whatever it is, doesn't matter. As long as it's something you're proud to send in, it's good to go. All right, guys, I'll see you at my work area. was showing you kind of some of the die cuts I was cutting. You notice I have tape around some of the paper like this. It's just that once they start getting not sticky enough, sometimes it's nice to put just a little washi around the edges and then it holds it down. The only thing is, once your mats get too old, like even if you're doing the trick where you clean it off with a baby wipe, and I can show you when I just did that with this guy. I just take a non-scented baby wipe and I scrubbed it off because there was a lot of glitter on there, and then it starts feeling sticky again, but it starts running out after a while. So I think this one's probably on his last leg. I finally actually threw a mat away the other day, which I never do, but it was done. So for this one, to finish these guys off, it had gold. I was going to put this gold. Hi. Yes, I have my hood on my head for some reason. I didn't want it to pick up because what happens is it'll just start throwing off your calibration, and you see how this started gouging, and then this is just not the right shape, even though these other ones were. So you don't want any of that. So for this, I use a brand new mat, and hopefully it works out. It is very sticky. I like a mat that's just a little bit used, right? Anyway, but look how pretty these are. And so I do get questions sometimes. People ask about how many passes do you use. I got one just recently as far as Cricut. It just depends. Like this one I chose metallic. I don't know why they don't just have like metallic paper on there, but I chose metallic, what's that thing called? Poster board. And it does 2 passes. So there's a lot of settings that do 2 passes. Most of the acetate settings, you know, just different things. So I peeled that off very carefully. This stuff is so pretty. So I'm going to take a moment to do this, and then I'll just package them up just like I did the card, with the same kind of plastic bag, I think, just so it's see-through and we can see them easily in there. But look at that. Oh my gosh, this is such a pretty cut. And again, a lot of these, obviously, I haven't bought anything from Cricut. These are my old cartridges. I think this came from a cartridge called Let's Celebrate. So if you have Cricut access, you might have access to it. I don't know. Sometimes some of the older cartridges are just free now. But anyway, that goes on there like that. And then it has a little tag even. How cute is that, you guys? Look at that. So I'm just gonna glue those down, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all my pieces here, like what I'm gonna include for my die cuts. So I have a couple different little borders. So pretty. Oh my gosh, the colors on this, I mean, little party hat. I think this was the Anna Griffin one, no? I feel like it is. I think this one is too. Oh, but to finish this one off, it did have an eye, but I was like, do I really want to keep track of that? Actually, it's this piece right here. It's kind of stylized, kind of weird. I don't know. I'm like, nah, better not. So I'm just going to put a little clear rhinestone on that one. And this is very different. I used that coral paper and then topped it off with that lavender. I think it looks pretty. And then this is a little bag that I made, and we had talked about that, I think. So I'm going to put these guys in here and layer them up in a way that they won't hurt each other, but at the same time I can spread them out just a little bit so that maybe, you know, I'm not going to open it in the reveal anyway because you guys have already seen them, but that way they're still visible and look cute. And if you have very delicate die cuts, you guys know I don't really want to bring them out anyway, so I try to show them through whatever packaging you put them in. A glassine bag is nice too, so I'll link all those different kinds of things I normally use in the description box. Look how pretty that looks. So there's that. And again, you know, I'm gonna arrange these the way I need to. That makes it work, that works out nicely, you know. I think the last thing, like I said, tag and finishing up, and then an extra thing. So, you know, if these guys, I can pop them in here, and then we can still decorate more, you know. We're gonna do that later though. So then I have my card, maybe I have my card back here. Maybe then I pop in these treats back in there. We put some cute things. The whole thing about being loaded is that you really are taking up all the space. You want it to look really cool. Like I might even put a little sticky and I can stick this higher up or whatever. Just, you know, work it out so it works nicely. But that's it for today, guys. So a lot of fun. I have all my pieces cut, so all I'm gonna do is sit and watch some TV, layer them up, maybe with that new lap desk I got from We Are Memory Keepers off of HSN. And yeah, finish them up. I mean, I have them, everything's ready. I just gotta put the pieces together. So thanks for watching. Have fun, guys. Yeah, I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.